The best part of waking up is doing your damn cardio. I ain't gonna front. I miss cardio, and I miss not doing it for over like 10 months. But there's sometimes where you're just like, man, I really don't want to do this. But you do it anyway. And those are the little battles, man, that add up to the big picture. Not wanting to wake up early to cook your food, wanting to sleep an extra half hour. But I'm telling you, man, those small sacrifices make the big picture at the end of the day. Today was an awesome workout. Today was shoulders, traps day. But I felt really rested because I got a massage Thursday night. Thursday night. So my body felt really, really rested. So I added some cable flies for the chest, targeting all different parts of the chest, the upper, the bottom, and the middle, and the center. And I also added some tricep rope, some dumbbell, side dumbbell hammer curls, boom, and some forearms. Because one of the things I like to do, and I learned this from a lot of IFBB pros, is they like to do body parts to help them get an overall pump, like if they're posing. So today was shoulders, right? So I was doing press movements, and then I would interpret with traps, triceps, biceps, and forearms. Just like when you're hitting a most muscular, you're contracting all those muscles. So that's one of the biggest tips I've learned from a lot of IFBB pros, from watching their YouTube videos, following them on Instagram. And I definitely recommend it to anybody out there who's trying to find new ways of adding excitement to their training program. Because, sometimes you get tired of the same things. Get tired of always doing the same movements. So that's why I always recommend following athletes who have the body that you desire, so that you can see what they do and take the bits and pieces that you like from their workouts and add it to yours. Because in any type of fitness, the goal is to shock the body. So when you constantly shock the body with different exercises from multiple angles, your body can never get immune to it, which means that it will always be in constant shock of confusion. That's why I love bodybuilding, because bodybuilding, it's about multiple angles. And what separates the professional bodybuilders from the elite to the just regular IFBB pros is not the drugs and the protocol, but it's the diet and the training. And what I've learned from Kai Green is that every movement you do in the gym, from every exercise, has a purpose for displaying your final result on stage. So that's why I always tell people, if you don't know how to pose, it's because you don't know how to execute the exercises properly. Like a rear double bicep shot is a lat pull down mixed in with a deadlift, doing it all at the same time, starting from the ground up. When you're hitting a most muscular, it's your side lateral, it's your pec deck or cable flies, your traps, shrugs, triceps and biceps, all in one movement. So if you notice that, right, I talked about the most muscular pose. You contract your shoulders, your traps, your chest, your biceps, your triceps, and your core. Well, that's what I did today. I did shoulder press movements, side laterals, front laterals, and I added biceps and triceps movements into that by supersetting them. And then I would pose and flex. And one of the things that's very good about posing is additional cardio for your workout in between sets. But most importantly, it helps you get a better pump, and you'll get better results. You get better density, you get more striation, because of the constant flexing of the muscles. It's called time under tension. Time under tension is very important in any type of exercises that you do, whether it's CrossFit, bodybuilding, Zumba, anything. Because what it does is it allows you to have the mind-muscle connection in the body, the muscles that you're targeting, and not letting them rest, which will result into better gains because the muscle is under time, under tension. That's why you never really want to have too long of a breaks in between your sets, unless it's the off season and you're doing heavy lifts. That's different. But for the most part, you want to have at least 60-minute rest in between sets, the most 90 seconds. But if you're doing off-season heavy movements, then you're probably going to have like 2-minute rest in between sets. But like I tell a lot of people, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. You know, a lot of people always tell me, oh, I don't like bodybuilding, right? Not knowing that what they're trying to accomplish in their physique is bodybuilding. Like women, right? Oh, I want to shape my glutes and my thighs, and I want to lose fat on my back and on my chest. Well, that's bodybuilding. You're shaping your body to the desire that you want. If you don't have the right meal plan and the right exercise protocol, you won't accomplish that. That's why I tell people, don't tell me you want to lose 20, 30 pounds. No. Tell me what body you desire. Whose body would you like to have? And then from there, we can make the program designed for that result. Because sometimes what people don't get is when they say, I just want to lose 30 pounds. Yeah, you can lose 30 pounds easily. You can starve yourself, not eat, exercise, but then you won't have the body that you desire. You'll just lose 30 pounds. So that's why I tell people, one of the greatest tricks you can do is stop weighing yourself every single day. There's no need to weigh yourself every single day. If you weigh yourself every single day, you become a prisoner of the scale. Even though you might not be seeing the changes that your body's actually doing, you look at the number in the scale and say, I've been dieting, I've been exercising, and I've only lost 3 pounds. Yeah, maybe if you lost 3 pounds of fat, but you gained muscle too. You know, I used to be a prisoner of the scale when I first started. I would always weigh myself. And I would be like, damn, son, I'm training. This is when I was really, really beginning. I was training like 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. And I wasn't losing no weight. I kept staying at 195, 195, 195, 195. And then I'm like, but wait, my pants are looser. My waist is smaller. My shirt's getting tighter from the upper body. And I wasn't able to notice the actual changes my body was making because all I was looking at was the scale, the number on the scale. And then that's when I stopped weighing myself. Obviously, you do want to weigh yourself when you're in the beginning of your diet. And if you have a coach, you want to weigh yourself so that you can give them the exact number where you are. Because when you do your macros, it all depends on your body weight. You understand what I mean? From the grams of fat to grams of protein, grams of carbs. You understand what I mean? But for anybody out there, because the gyms will be opening up again Monday, Tuesday. That Tuesday morning, if you're starting to go back into the gym, just weigh yourself September 1st, and don't weigh yourself until October 1st. And allow your body to be your guide on your results. Because you'll see results real quick for those people who haven't been working out during this whole pandemic. You'll see results a lot faster within that first month just by going at least 3 times a week. You understand what I mean? But don't become a prisoner of the scale. And one of the things too I highly recommend is invest into a body scale. A lot of these you can find on Amazon for like 30, 40 bucks that will allow you to actually get your percentage in fat, your weight of muscle compared to your whole body weight. So like I'll share with you guys. I weighed myself on Sunday night. I was weighing 230, right? My body fat was 26%, which is exactly where I want to be, okay? my muscle mass in weight was 159 pounds. So out of 230 pounds of my total body, 159 pounds of my body was muscle. Okay, so if you look at that, more than half of my body is muscle mass. 26% of my whole entire body is fat. So during the off season, you want to carry a little bit more fat, because the simple fact is that you're trying to build muscle, and your intake of carbs, protein, fats are going to be higher, which is normal. But then when you start dieting again, you want to make sure you follow your macros based on your body weight and make adjustments every 2 to 4 weeks. So like right now, my diet is high protein, no carbs, like low carbs. My carbs are coming from my vegetables. I only get half a cup of oatmeal in the morning and sweet potatoes before and after my workout. That's it. Those are all the carbs I get that are actual carbs. The rest are going to come from my fruits, from my vegetables pretty much. And so, but that's because we're trying to lean out as we continue to build muscle. And then now I'm starting to finally do cardio again, 4 times a week for 30 minutes. Mind you, like I said, I haven't done cardio for about, I'm gonna say since last January. So this January that just passed was the last time I did cardio. So it's been over 9 months now. February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, so like about 7 months I haven't done cardio. So, but it had a purpose to it. I was doing way too much cardio, which was not letting me gain weight. As soon as my coach cut my cardio completely, bro, I went from 190 to 205 to 215 to now weighing 230. And remember what I said, my muscle mass is 159 pounds out of my 230 pounds. So everything does have a purpose. And now that I am doing cardio again, I'm gonna get a lot better results because I haven't done it in such a long time. So this is a great opportunity for everybody out there who hasn't been able to train during this whole pandemic, that's going back to the gym on Tuesday. Make sure you ease your way back in. Don't go in full throttle trying to catch up 7 months of no training in 1 month. All you're gonna do is you're gonna strain your joints, you're gonna fatigue your body, you're gonna crash. Ease your way back in. You understand what I mean? The most important thing is your diet. If you're not following your diet, I don't care what you're doing in the gym. You understand what I mean? Because I get a lot of people DMing me, you know, man, I've been training, but I see no changes in my body. I see no changes in my physique. You know, I'm following the diet, this and that. The diet's the most important part. Then after dieting is training. If you're not doing your exercises correctly, you're only gonna plateau after a while. And I see too many people focusing on moving weight, but not exercising, not executing the movement. If you're just trying to move weight, you're a power lifter. And you're gonna look like a power lifter. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to look like a certain person, as an athlete with a physique, it takes a lot. It takes a different type of training. And when you do any exercise correctly, don't matter if it's 5 pounds or 100 pounds, it's gonna fucking burn. You understand what I mean? And everything has a purpose. Heavy movements are very important because it builds density, which means makes the muscle harder. You understand what I mean? But if you're not doing the exercise correctly, you're just gonna, 1, get injured. 2, you're not gonna get the results you desire. 3, you're gonna get very, very discouraged because you can be like, I bench 300 pounds, but I got no chest. Well, it's because you're not doing it right. You're just using your shoulders. You understand what I mean? A lot of times you'll hear people, my shoulder's messed up. My shoulders are messed up. And then you see their chest movements or their shoulder movements, and it's exactly because of that. It don't matter if it's 5 pounds, 300 pounds. If you're doing that right, it's gonna burn. It's gonna fucking burn. If the muscle's not burning while you're executing the exercise, lower the weight and focus on the form. We have all the technology in the world to know how to do every movement, from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, books. And this is one thing I'm gonna tell y'all. Books is the best way to learn. Because if you really look at it, when you read something, right? When you read something and you have it physically in your hand, you're able to digest better the information, because as you're reading it, you memorize it. So if you feel like you're not getting the results that you desire, two things: check your diet, then check your movements on the exercises that you're executing. Are you actually doing the form correctly? You understand what I mean? And people will tell me, oh, my coach is making me do this, my coach is making me do that. If your coach is not giving you correct form, get rid of your coach. Straight up. Because there's too many coaches out there with no credentials, with no knowledge, that are just taking your money. And I see that shit all the time. Bro, I see people doing 300 pounds on a movement and they're not executing shit. And all they're gonna do is mess up their joints. I saw this one time, somebody doing a squat and their knees were going in. If you know anything about doing a squat, if your knees are going in, you're gonna fuck up your knees. Your knees are supposed to be going straight out, up and down. And they should never be in front of your feet, over your feet. So again, if you have somebody that you're paying and they're not executing what you desire, question them. Don't go disrespectful. Don't go, yo, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. No. Ask them, hey, you're teaching me how to do this, but I noticed that this is the right form. Why are you teaching me this way? It's okay to ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, you're never gonna learn. And that's what the whole point of all this is about. It's about learning. And most importantly, this is a problem in bodybuilding. Everybody's so dependent on coaches that they don't know how to do their own diet. They don't know how to do their own workout plan. They don't know how to do their own conditioning. And when they lose, they blame their coach. No. If your coach is not teaching you what you need to learn, then believe me, you're always going to be depending on the coach. And that's not good. Because eventually you want to be self-depending. You understand what I mean? Because that's the real way you're going to make it into a lifestyle for yourself. Mind you, I've been lifting weights since I was 14. I started bodybuilding actually really when I was 22. And when I turned 31, I finally got a coach. You understand what I mean? But I was able to get my coach because of all the knowledge I already did and applied for myself. Reading Arnold's Bodybuilding Encyclopedia. I've read it 13 times. You understand what I mean? I just finished reading Mike Mentzer's book about high intensity training. You understand what I mean? You have to be self-efficient, self-educate yourself, because then you could also know if the person you're investing your money in to guide you is doing a good job. My coach, yo, he's the man. I ain't going front. He's the fucking man. One, he practices what he preaches. He's an IFBB pro. He turned pro by himself. His diets work. But most importantly, he's guiding me in all to avoid all the things that he had to learn on his own, and helping me reach my physique faster because of he's guiding me and not making the errors that he made as an athlete. And that's what you want from your coach. You understand what I mean? Don't feel this. It's not disrespectful just to ask them questions. If you feel like your coach doesn't let you ask questions, get rid of him and get a different coach. Because your coach is supposed to guide you and teach you along the way and be there to make sure you're doing everything correctly. But if you don't know what's correct, then how are you going to be able to question it? You understand what I mean? So that's my take on that. This is my 6th day on my diet, like really on my diet. And I definitely see the difference in my physique. My bandeja panza has gone down. And I see more definition in my physique, even though in 6 days your body could change that fast. But again, you have to make sure you're following it the correct way. So this is a great opportunity for anybody out there, for everybody who's going back into the gym September 1st. Ease your way back in. Don't try to do too much right away. You want to prevent injury. You want to have longevity. You understand what I mean? This whole game in fitness is about longevity and being able to live a healthy life for a long time. You understand what I mean? Because anything that comes quick and fast leaves just as fast and quick. So definitely, I encourage everybody who's finally going to be able to train in the gym, take your time. You understand what I mean? Focus on the movements. Focus on contracting the muscles, stretching the muscles. Don't go heavy right away. Take your time. Be patient. That's something that a lot of people don't want to do. You gotta be patient in this game. You understand what I mean? You know, perfect example I tell people is that you're not gonna have the body you desire in 1 year. No fucking way. Not even close. It's gonna take time. You understand what I mean? Especially if you're doing it natural. You know what I mean? It's gonna take time, but it's better that way. You know, I see so many people start taking anabolics and start messing with that stuff, but they haven't even built a foundation. I've had people ask me, hey, you know, what do you think about me doing a cycle? And I'd be the first one to tell you, if you're weighing 100 pounds or 120 pounds and you take a cycle, and let's say you get to at least 180, as soon as you get off, you're gonna lose that within 3 months because you have no built foundation. You wanna build the foundation of your physique. The greatest pros, greatest athletes started taking the anabolics once they had a foundation. You understand what I mean? They were weighing 220, like Lee Priest. Lee Priest is one of the greatest physiques. He was the Flex Lewis before Flex Lewis. You know what I mean? Before he started messing with any type of protocol, he was weighing 220 pounds, natural. Once he started taking the protocol, he was able to change his physique dramatically. Ronnie Coleman, the greatest bodybuilder of all time, didn't start messing with anabolic until he was 30. He was competing as a pro, natural. But as soon as he did jump on the anabolic part, his body completely changed. His conditioning changed. But it was also because he had a natural foundation. He had a physique before the anabolics. And you'll see it. You know, a lot of people will just jump on and get on a cycle. And I'm not saying a cycle's bad. I'm not saying that. But if you really want to get the benefit of that cycle, you have to have a foundation. Because then you're just going to be relying on it. And that's not good. You know, I've spoken to a lot of people during this time about protocols. You know, and they've all told me the same thing. I wish I would have been more patient. I wish I would have waited a little bit longer before I actually did it. You understand what I mean? Because they also noticed that they put their health at risk. You know? Any way you go about it, anabolics aren't healthy as much. They are healthy, but they aren't healthy. You understand what I mean? And you want to make sure you know what you're getting yourself into before you do it. And a lot of times people don't know. They really don't. So again, take your time, build a natural foundation, build something that you'll be able to keep once you get off the anabolics and be able to build from there. You understand what I mean? You know, and I highly recommend that because, you know, we live in a generation where people are trying to compare themselves so much with everybody else on social media, and they're trying to prove to others instead of proving to themselves. Listen to me. Anything that's going to risk your health isn't worth it if it's not what you truly desire. Same thing I tell people. Don't buy a certain car, a certain house, certain clothes to impress other people, to show them that you're successful or rich. That's not being successful. That's being trapped and being miserable. Same thing with physique. You want to build your physique natural and enjoy the process. You know, all my favorite pros, they say the same thing. Enjoy the process, especially with women. Like, I see women, man, changing their bodies when they could get what they desire naturally by just hard work and dedication. But we live in a generation where people don't want to do that. Everybody wants everything quick and easy. You know, everything they want is Amazon Prime, 2-day shipping. That shit ain't gonna happen. It takes time. And it's better that way because you enjoy it. You know how to maintain it. You know how to grow it. Anything that you do naturally and you can build from the ground up, you know, you appreciate it. Something I tell people all the time. Listen to me. You can take away anything God's given me, because God knows that I can get it again, because he taught me how to build it. He taught me how to get it. You know, so many people want handouts People want, I want a fat butt, I'm gonna get this. I want a fat ass and small, thin waist. Go to another country or Miami and get it done. But the same thing always happens. They go back and get it redone because they don't know how to actually keep it or maintain it. And it's the same thing with guys. You know, guys, I want to be 250 pounds. I'm going to get on a cycle. And I'm going to take D-ball and Anavar and Trend. And they're not even knowing what they're doing. And they're taking all these anabolics. And as soon as they get off them, they crash. Take your time. Enjoy the process. It's a beautiful thing when you actually enjoy it, because you know how hard it was to get there and build that you put in the work. You wake up half an hour early to make your food. You go to sleep an hour later to make your food. You know what I mean? You make the sacrifices of, hey man, I would love to hang out with you guys, but I gotta go to the gym. I gotta get my workout in. It's those things, man. Believe me. Because no one's gonna tell you they love their body. No one's gonna tell you that. No one's gonna tell you they love their body. They're gonna say they do. They're gonna act like they do. But if you love your body, you understand that that's your temple. That's the only body you're ever gonna have. And the people that truly show it are the ones that take care of it, who make sure that they watch what they put into their holy temple. They watch how they exercise their body to keep it healthy, you know. And it's not just about physical stuff, it's also about spiritual. You know, there's a spiritual side to working out and training that is you against the weight, you against your body, you against your mind, to see how far you can push it. And believe me, when you understand that spiritual side, you learn how weak your body actually is, because true strength comes from here. You know, before I was bodybuilding, I did martial arts. I started martial arts when I was 21, yeah. No, I was 20. And I got my black belt at 24 years old. And I'll never forget my black belt test. It was 2 days long. I started at 5 p.m. one night, and it wasn't over until the next day. 2 days later, it started at 6 o'clock, and it was done the next day at 8. And I had to sleep in the school, and my body crashed. I'm not even going front. My body crashed. My physique gave out on me in the middle of a technique, and I collapsed to the ground because my body was just so worn out. But the most important part was that my mind didn't break, because even though I was on the ground and my physique crashed, I was still defending myself from the ground, because I understood that my true power was within my mind. And I was able to push through all that and finish my test, you know. And it was crazy because when I was done with my test and I got my belt and everything, I was finally able to change from my gi. I pulled on my gi pants, and from the top of my quad all the way down to my quad, both quads were just purple. When I tell you purple, like Barney purple, like purple as hell. And people were like, oh my God, what happened? And I was like, that was my test. And I learned how weak our bodies really are, because our true power comes from the spirit. Same thing as when you're training. You have to push your body to pass its limits and not give up mentally before you give out physically. And as you do that, you will truly see how strong you are. And again, our flesh is temporary. Our youth is temporary. But our mind is with us through our entire life. That's why it's so important to build your mind. You know what I mean? When you have a strong mind, you'll be able to overcome the hurdles you get in life. Mentally, physically, spiritually. You know, and that's why I always tell people, you know, it's a great thing to read the Bible. Because when you read the Bible, it's all spiritual. You know, as much as we use our body for the physical, it's a spiritual war that we're under. And that whole book is about building your spirit from within. And when you do that, just like doing your training, you'll be able to push your body push yourself through the trials and tribulations. That's why I posted something today, one of my favorite scriptures. Greater is he within me than he who is in the world. You understand what I mean? And that's talking about the Spirit of God. When you become a child of God and you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you learn that his Spirit lives within you. When he died and resurrected, 40 days later after he was crucified, he ascended into heaven, right? And when he ascended into heaven, 10 days later, he sent down the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit. And that was only accomplished after he defeated Satan on the cross, and he gave us his Spirit to guide us to not sin against him. But again, like I said, the Spirit. When you finally realize that your flesh is temporary, but when you ascend into heaven, it's your spirit that goes there. Same thing. Once you learn how to live that same mindset in here on earth, to live within the Spirit, you will understand the true power of God, and you will learn your true strength, because it's all within. So that's my 30-minute cardio session. Thank you for everybody who got on my live. Have a blessed day. Kiss your love. Call your mom. Call your dad. Call your loved ones. You know, if you miss somebody, tell them that you missed them. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. It's not weak. You know, say your prayers. Kiss your loved ones. And remember, God bless you with another day of life. Take full advantage of it. Have a blessed day. Peace.